Hello and welcome to the mill. My name is Dusty, and I thought we would talk for just a few minutes about the latest Stonemaier Games e-newsletter, and I guess that would be July at this point. Man, how time flies. So right off the gate, in the e-newsletter, there was a brand new title shown right there. So if you haven't got the newsletter and you are interested enough in Stonemaier Games to watch this, sign up for that newsletter. The new product, I'll get to that in just a second, is listed at the top. In that, why bury the lead? Let's just talk about it. Rolling Realms Redux, and what that is. This is really cool. So for a while now, we've heard the people that are really into Rolling Realms saying, "I wish." The storage is getting tight in the original box when you have enough cards for 6 players, and you have all the promos, and the box at this point is just bursting at the seams unless you pull that insert out. Then you got a little bit more room, or if you have a few sets set aside for travel or whatever. In any case, that box is getting full, and so people have been asking, hey, when are we going to get a storage solution for Rolling Realms? When can we get a box that's going to hold everything that is, all the promos, that kind of stuff? Can we get, more stuff? And so Rolling Realms Redux appears to be the answer to those people. Now, it was previously on the progress chart as Codename More, so you may have noticed that Codename More this month in the progress chart switched over to Rolling Realms Redux. The reason I just got such a kick out of saying progress is because I was, speaking of Stonemaier stuff, I've been using the Dized Expeditions tutorial. If you don't know Dized, it's D-I-Z-E-D. They have a tutorial that will walk you through how to play Expeditions. So that's another bit of news I'll get to. I'm all over the place today. We're off to a very good start. In any case, in that tutorial, they say, do this for progress. And so I'm just like, say progress. And then here I did it. So that explains that. But anyway, Rolling Realms Redux. Oh my goodness. Should I just start over? I won't. I'm just going to go. So Rolling Realms Redux, what's really cool about this is it is also the storage that people have been asking for, and it's big enough that it is going to hold all cards that are currently a part of Rolling Realms, all the promos that have been released so far, and all planned content will fit in this box. Now, that's not to say that Rolling Realms isn't eventually going to outgrow this box, but the way the storage is set up, from my understanding, and I don't know what I'm allowed to say, so I won't say. I haven't heard anything. I just talked to Jamie, and he mentioned it in passing. So in any case, the way it is set up is it's going to have an area for basically all 6 players. So you can have all of the red players cards in here, all of the black players cards in here, all of the mustard yellow looking cards here, and have that all nice and separated. But that's not all. It's not just a storage solution. It's actually 12 new realms. And the important thing to note is that it's not 12 realms that have been promos and now we're going to put it into a single box. Who wants to, get another copy of something they already have, right? If you've been picking up the promos, then it's like, I could have just waited and got all this and blah. Anyway, in any case, it's not going to be any duplicated content. In fact, it's not going to be any Stonemaier content at all. All 12 realms that are in this Rolling Realms Redux are going to be from other publishers, stuff that Jamie's worked out and with them to make their titles available for Rolling Realms. Those are all coming to Rolling Realms Redux, and those are not going to be made available later as promos. So if you buy Rolling Realms Redux, you get 12 new realms and enough cards for all 6 players, and it's actually standalone. So you're, at least if I understand standalone, so don't take this as I haven't confirmed it with Jamie. I would think, being that it's standalone, I would think that means they're probably gonna give us new dry erase markers. They're probably going to give us more wipes. And, you know, so, and there's also new dice that Jamie's actually confirmed are a different color. So that's pretty cool. I think in terms of a storage solution, that's the way to do it. Like, don't make me just buy a box. You know, I liked when Wingspan Asia was packed inside the nesting box. I liked it when Viticulture World, in the wine crate, was in there. And so I think that's a cool thing in this case, and I understand why they're doing the nesting box and you know, the wine crate the way they are now. No knock there. I'm just saying, I like having the extra bang for the buck. At least, you know, I'm going to be an early adopter. I'm going to be one of the people that pick it up early, and so that's a nice little extra there. So Rolling Realms Redux is going to be available next year. It's actually going to go to print later this year. Now, here's what Jamie is asking that you do. If you got that newsletter, there's also a link that you can click on that says, hey, you know, I know this is going to be available later. Just maybe notify me. Let me know, you know, and along the way, Jamie will send updates to the people who sign up for that newsletter. But he's also going to use that as a means to kind of get a feel for the initial print run. So if you are into Rolling Realms, if you're into the idea of a box that's going to hold it all and 12 new realms, then, you know, go ahead and let them know that you're interested. And I'll see if there's any way that, you know, maybe I can just share that link in the description. And so, or actually the e-newsletters are right on Stonemaier's website. If you go to stonemeiergames.com, in the top right, it says news. You click there, it says new e-newsletter. You can go there, read it, and then go ahead and A, subscribe if you want, or B, just let them know that you're interested. And so that was part of the news. The other part of the news was actually that Expeditions is starting to show up at people's houses, which is really exciting to see that Expeditions groups start filling up with actual, you know, people that have played the game, that have it in front of them, have it set up, you know, people that are 3D printing stuff, you know, over at Meeple Forge, you know, people that are doing cool things. And so I'm really happy to see that stuff start showing up. But let's go ahead and get back on task, shall we? The other thing that was in this newsletter was the Wingspan vision friendly cards. And so Jamie wrote a blog post about this recently that said, if you make, you know, if you ask for it, we will make it, but will you buy it? I think that was the gist of the blog post, and the whole thing was just talking about the fact that throughout the years, there's been a lot of requests for people that, or a lot of concern that some of the iconography, some of the pieces on the card are small print, and since Wingspan hit just such unimaginable heights, bird pun, hit such unimaginable heights and grew outside of the typical board game community. Not that the typical board game community doesn't have people with vision difficulties. I've got LASIK, but there's people that you know, it's hard to see stuff across the table sometimes, right? Especially if it's a larger table or whatever the case. In any case, there was a request for these Wingspan vision friendly cards, and they made them, and I think they've only sold, I think at the time of the blog post, I think Jamie said somewhere in between 100, 200 or something like that. And maybe the blog post has notified some people that maybe that had said that they were interested but maybe don't get the newsletter to go, oh, that's available, I can pick that up now. Hopefully that's picked up and the sales are there. In any case, if that was something you were interested in, those are in the shop and available to ship now. But let's go ahead and get into the progress chart, because there's some cool progress, and I'm going to be looking at my iPad a lot because Karel Taiteka, who is actually very directly involved with Rolling Realms, is one of the lead developers. And also, I forgot to mention this when I was talking about Rolling Realm Redux. This box is also going to contain the Living Rulebook, an actual physical copy. Now, if you aren't familiar with the Living Rulebook, Karel has been taking all of the rule books and all of the rules from the promos and putting it into a single rule book, and you can find it on Stonemeier's website. But that's Karel's work, just kind of getting everything gathered up together and maintaining it. Also very active in the fan submissions and that kind of stuff. And so Karel also does a beautiful job of writing up the things that have changed from month to month in the Stonemaier progress chart from the newsletter, and you can find his monthly write-ups on the Stonemaier Games Discord channel. So that's really cool. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this, and I recommend you take a look at the Discord, because this is really good. So he talks about the Rolling Realms Redux and the stuff that's in there. And again, that living rulebook being in there is very cool, because it also has like a little bit of FAQ, I believe, and more examples that kind of help when, you know, the rules on the card are so necessarily, you know, very abbreviated. So Codename More becomes Rolling Realms Redux. The vision-friendly cards are complete. The third printing of the Wingspan nesting box that does not have Wingspan Asia in it, that's already shipping, just like Expeditions is. Now here is something that's to look forward to, and actually has a Q4 date. The Wingspan fan created cards, or the fan art cards. Anyway, it's not new cards, it's cards that have already been developed by Elizabeth Hargrave, and just, you know, there was that contest there that Stonemaier did to say, hey, submit your art for these cards and we'll, you know, pick our favorites or whatever, and we'll go ahead and make a fan art card pack. And that looks like that's going to go ahead and land this year. Also, he mentions that Expeditions is shipping. In that e-newsletter and on the website, too, there's a couple of different randomization utilities for Expeditions. Like you can see it underneath my table here. I got Expeditions set up for play later. But anyway, Expeditions, there's a couple of new utilities. One of them is kind of story-based, and you do like a choose-your-own-adventure kind of deal to choose your starting character and their companion, or a mech, or you know, there's a couple of different ways to go about choosing your starting faction. There's also another fan-created utility that is actually pretty neat too, that will also randomize the starting layout of the South for you, so that you can get the randomized character and companion, the randomized mech, and the first public, you know, the sorted the randomized area in the South for Expeditions all laid out there. So very cool to be able to just hit a button, tell them how many players hit a button, and have that set up. Next, we have one more game that's slated for 2023 right now, and that is Codename Hive. Now, Codename Hive is, it's actually in components now, so we are very close, although it is listed as a Q4 product, so at the end of the year, Codename Hive will be available, along with those Wingspan fan art cards, and also along with the Tapestry Revised Civilizations. Now, we've talked about that in the past too, where Jamie has taken all of the feedback from all of the civilizations, and also taken all of the data from all of the plays that people have reported, and also worked with Board Game Arena. So, you know, Tapestry is up on BoardGameArena.com, and BoardGameArena.com, all of the data that collects in terms of like what mats, what's, you know, what, city mat you had, what civilization you had, all those combinations, all that stuff becomes available, and Jamie's got data analysts now that comb through that, and so they've worked out new balance adjustments, and we're actually able to put it on Board Game Arena so that, you know, those adjustments could be played. And these cards are still being worked on. However, it looks like they're finalized, and they're in components, which, with they're just cards, that sounds a lot like print and assemble to me, but they're not assembling anything either. So what do I know? In any case, that's looking like that's going to be a Q4 product too. And let's go ahead and dive right back into the progress chart. Codename Fire is coming along. It has art and solo design done and is now in graphic design. Codename Crow had some progress and some setbacks. The blind playtesting completed last month, but art is continuing. Although it had been marked complete last month, so that may have been a mistake, or maybe they added something based on playtest and they just need to create art for it. In any case, that is the state of Codename Crow. And progress on Codename Bone. The art has begun. Design development and playtesting is still going on as well. No change for Codename Keep and or Wild and or Lost. Now, I'm gonna veer for just a moment into speculation territory, but also into the Stonemaier Champion newsletter. Now, that newsletter is sent out to people that subscribe to the Stonemaier Champions program, which is basically just a way to support Jamie making as much content as he does, not just for the community like us, but also for game designers, for people that are posting stuff on Kickstarter, just the amount of stuff that he produces to benefit the game industry. The idea of the Champions program is to just kind of financially say, hey, thank you, but you also gain some benefits like discounted shipping, or when a new title comes out that's for sale, it's cheaper to Champions. Additionally, if there's Champions and non-Champions ordering that pre-order, the Champion orders go out first. So there's a few benefits, but one of the benefits is there's every year a Stonemaier Champion shirt that's made available to Champions that they can purchase, and there's usually some call-outs, some teases of things to come, and that shirt has been shared with Stonemaier Champions. It's not. I don't think it's available for sale yet. I think it's just, hey, this is what the shirt looks like, and so we're going to be, sign up if you're interested. So again, so that they can gauge interest. And I'm not going to show the design since it's a Champion shirt. However, in the Stonemaier Discord, Corel again consolidated some of those icons, because we've seen them in the past. I've worn my past Champion shirts on here. It's another one of those hex designs that has the art from the different titles. So for Red Rising, there's the Howler logo. For it used to be a pyramid. For Side, there's a mech. For Wingspan, there's a bird. These type of things. And so Corel has shared the new icons out on the Discord. So I think if you go to the Discord and you go into Stonemaier chat, that you might just have to scroll around a little bit, but that is listed there. And Corel, instead of taking the whole picture of the shirt, just kind of broke down the new stuff or the stuff for discussion. And there were two particular areas that were real. So the shirt is kind of like yellow and it's got like a gray, it looks like gray printing. However, two of those hexes were much larger than the others, and they were black. And one of them was the comet from Expeditions, so indicating that that was the Expeditions, or rather the fact that it's a dark black and that it's larger makes me think that that is a tease for things to come this year. And then the other title has to be related to Codename Hive somehow, if that's true, that the dark black is indicative of the stuff that's going to come out this year. And so that dark black seems to show the outline of an insect or bee. We said Hive could be bees. However, we're not 100% sure. We're speculating in the Discord, just because I've been dinged before about not being completely honest with you. I know what that symbol is. I know what that's about. But the speculation is on Discord, and so some people are like, the thing that's throwing people off in trying to determine what this is if this is a bee, it seems to have like a fishbowl on its head, and I really, it could also be like a mask or a helmet or something like that, but it looks like a fishbowl. It looks like when you see the old time art of like astronauts, when you see that they're just wearing like an astronaut suit and then like just that bowl for like a helmet, like that's what it looks like. And so people are going, okay, so is that an astronaut bee? Is that maybe like one of those dive suits where they have the helmet over their heads? That would be some spectacularly bad timing, I think, in terms of what happened to the Ocean Gate submersible. But yeah, so like people are speculating on what that icon could be, but there's other icons on there too. In fact, there's one kind of hex that takes up 3 hex spaces, and it has a big air balloon or zeppelin or whatever you want to call it in that 3 spot, or that occupying 3 spaces in that hex. And that has to be the teaser for the collaboration with Andrew Bosley and his Bones End world. And I think that stands up to, because I think it was Andrew Bosley actually in one of his newsletters, I think he said he was working on a trio of games with Stonemaier. And so I'm going to guess, based on looking at that chart, we have 3 titles that have no release date but are working together, or are I guess they're all together, and that's Crow, Wild, and Lost. I think we'll have to, maybe we could look back and see if all 3 of those popped onto the scene at the same time. But Crow, Wild, and Lost, my guess is that's the Smoking Bones, the World of Smoking Bones games. Rolling Realms Redux is again a 2024 title. Now here's something I noticed, and we'll have to decide whether you would consider Rolling Realms Redux a expansion. But typically, with Stonemaier, we typically get 2 big releases and then 2 expansions. Next year, 2024, according to the chart, and let's take into consideration that everything can shift and change as the world does what the world's going to do. And so we have 3 titles that are listed for 2024, and that's Codename Fire, Codename Keep, and Rolling Realms Redux. And you know what? I'm going to change it. I think Codename Wild's been there for a very long time. Now that I think of this, I think Codename Wild is Jamie's game that he originally, his open world co-op game that was, loosely inspired by Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So I'm going to guess Keep, Crow, and Lost are actually the Smoking Bones titles. So I think we might see the first Smoking Bone title next year, according to this. So we have Fire, Keep, and Rolling Realms Redux. If you consider Rolling Realms Redux a standalone full game, then we get 3 big titles next year, and we'll have to see if we get any expansions. I think in the past we've seen Wingspan expansions on the progress chart, so I don't know if we would see a Wingspan expansion at this point. So I don't think Codename Fire or Keep have anything to do with Wingspan. As those have been publicly shared in the past, that we've known that there's a new expansion. So we will have to see. But again, thanks so much to Corel for putting together this list of changes from month to month and keeping up with that and the living rule book and all of that stuff for Rolling Realms. That's all I really have this week. I want to just keep talking. I've got Expeditions here, and I've been playing the heck out of Expeditions, and I'm really happy to see you guys talking about Expeditions and looking forward to reading about your experiences, what you enjoy, what you don't like so much, if there's anything that you thought might be included as a sequel to Side that wasn't, or what you would like to see in expansions. I think it's safe to say there will be expansions. I think I saw Jamie actually mention it on Board Game Geek, something about, like, obviously we know there's the possibility of expansions based on the insert, which has room for 2 new mechs. So if this is like Scythe, we have 3 expansions ahead of us in terms of Invaders from Afar, the Wind Gambit, and the Rise of Fenris. But, it's not Scythe. So maybe we get 1 expansion, maybe we get 2, maybe we get even more. It seems like with the card system, it being a hand builder or deck builder, whatever you want to call it, seems more likely to say a hand builder. Card, I don't know. Anyway, it seems like having so many cards, there is that possibility to, incorporate more. but that probably depends on more art from Jakob. And man, Expeditions doesn't fail there either. It's gorgeous. So before I make a long episode even longer, I hope you guys, if you picked up Expeditions, I hope you have it. I hope it's coming soon. I hope when you get it to the table, you'll love it. I know I'm enjoying my time with it, and yeah, based on the calendar there, we should have some more Stonemaier news. That's a new game, at least one more this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing that and talking about that with you. And yeah, for now, I think that's it. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Thanks for watching. Bye.